This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Always a pleasure to be joined with Mr. Dan Hardy, and there's no one better to be joined by where it's Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. We've just kicked off the launch presser in the UK. How are you, mate? How's things been?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here. Privileged to be a part of this. It was fantastic. I mean, both fighters are great. The artwork behind them is incredible. I really enjoyed the day. It's been quite eye-opening. I'm very excited for the event.
We'll go into the event on a commercial level, or how big it is. No matter what you think about it as a contest, this is massive. And needs no introduction of these two guys. And when we see a commercial level, you see how big it is today, the media turn and everything. So it's definitely gonna be a special one on October 28th.
Yeah, this is huge. It's a game changer of a fight. This one is, and I think we've had a few of them. Maymac was big. Of course, the Jake Paul-Nate Diaz fight a few weeks ago was big as well. But this is a different scale again. I mean, you've got the current heavyweight champion of the world in MMA. Well, I mean, the current heavyweight champion in the world in MMA against the best, the current heavyweight champ in boxing. Like these are the two best guys in this weight class in their own respective sports, and they're both stepping into this with the intention of winning. Like, I'm astounded by the confidence coming out of Francis Ngannou. I feel like he feels like he knows what he needs to do to win this fight, and I think he knows his odds as well, and his odds are very slim. So see how he solves this problem. Of course, Tyson Fury is the one that's the shoo-in to win. He's got incredible boxing skills and management of range, but there's just something about Ngannou, the way he moves, right? He puts his foot on the gas, he covers distance, he hits like nobody else. I just can't count him out.
How much of a chance does Francis Ngannou have, do you think?
Very, very slim, very slim. But we're all here because of that slim chance. If there was no chance at all, this room would have been empty for the press conference, right? That's the reality of it. We're all here because there is a possibility that Ngannou is going to catch him, and if he catches him, he could quite easily knock him out. I mean, you've got to think we saw what Deontay Wilder was able to do to Fury when he was tired in the later rounds. If Ngannou is able to do that early on, if he steps into that boxing ring with confidence to go in the first 3 rounds, he could be a real handful for Tyson. And Tyson's got to drop his hands at some point to throw his own punches. He is going to be vulnerable at times. I just wonder whether he can take any one of the punches that Ngannou's going to throw. That's the big question.
And one thing I asked Francis this question, and you've had dealings with Dana White, you know what he's like, and you know what the UFC are like when you're severing ties with them. It's a very, very hard company to sever ties with. So how much of this credit is Francis Ngannou to do his own thing, sever ties, and go on his own way, where not many people believed in him. Dana White definitely didn't believe in him. To go and do it now, how much of a testament is this to Francis Ngannou?
For me, him stepping away, and stepping into free agency as the heavyweight champ of the world is bigger than him taking this opportunity to fight Tyson. I mean, what a huge risk to step out of that. He was at the top of the sport, the pinnacle. He had his next few fights lined out. He knew he would be making decent money, but he had a dream, and he decided he wanted to back himself and step out, and it's paid off. And I'm glad he's got this opportunity because it's going to reassure other fighters that are considering fighting out their contracts to take the risk. Why not? Why not?
Could we see UFC fighters? We know that they occasionally sign a 6 or an 8 fight deal where they sign on long contracts. Could we now see UFC fighters potentially on 2 fight deals, 3 fight deals, where they're going to want more leverage now?
I certainly think there are some fighters that can command that kind of leverage. Most fighters signing with the UFC, they're going to get what they get. They're going to get probably a 4-fight contract, probably starting at 8 and 8, 10 and 10, something like that. And most people, even all the way up to contenders level, sometimes even championship level, they don't have the power to make those calls and to dictate their own career. But I feel like that can change here, and I think Ngannou is going to give people a lot of confidence, win or lose, that they can make big money outside of the UFC. And also, he signed with the PFL, so it's not like his MMA career has come to an end, right? He's backed himself, and then he's reassured that he's going to have something to do, given the fact that he's got his PFL contract and the boxing. And I mean, you can't get a bigger fight right now in combat sports than these two individuals. Maybe John Jones, Tyson Fury, but I still don't think people are giving him the same kind of credit that Ngannou's getting, given the power difference.
And just the last one from me. you take everything away from this. Tyson Fury has an inspirational journey, and Ngannou has an inspirational journey. I listened to his podcast with Joe Rogan, I remember, a couple of years ago. That's before he was even in the UFC, but just before he fought Miocic the second time. I'd encourage anyone to listen to that, and you look at how far both of them have come, and everyone, as a human, you can take so much inspiration. Who would even thought they'd be in this position now? Both are fighters.
Yeah, for sure. that there are people out there across the world that they doubt themselves, they question what they're capable of. Of course, Ngannou's journey has been incredible. He's always pushed forward and tried to strive and better his life. Tyson, on the other hand, he's had everything and still not been, still not been happy, still not been content. I think they've had very different journeys, both very arduous. But I think they both send a message out to everybody that no matter what you're going through, turn it around. You can turn it around. It's within your hands. And Ngannou by stepping into free agency, and Tyson by getting himself back in shape and reclaiming the heavyweight crown. They're both very inspiring individuals.
100%. Dan, thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure chatting to you. And yeah, all the best, mate. Take care, man. Thank you.